That my Brooklyn go see Chirac, Southside, C12, 911, grrr to the reality, we still outside. Mine on the riches, hard in the trenches. You can't throw dirt on the underground, we thrive in it. Ghana boys stocks on the rise, Charlie, this flex know they ready. See, we were not the ride nobody with, we the ones who started with it. Translation, Yanni had to buy, Yanni at Yanni hits. This goes so hard, even the ops go with it, That's how you know we lit.
The playoffs are back at Lambeau, and the temps, well, they're where you would expect them in the frigid range. Just how the Cheeseheads like it here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Ahead will decide the second entrant to next week's NFC title game, as we've got a great one in store between the New Orleans Saints and the Green Bay Packers. The fourth and final ticket to the conference championship round. We'll know soon enough as we are underway here on a January afternoon. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. They start the drive on the ground, Kamara. And right away they're going to stack him up right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
On that play, it was the defensive front that won the battle. They out-leveraged the offensive line, got into the backfield, and held them to no gain.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Winston now. Finding Taysom Hill complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. On 1st and 10, Winston. There's Chris Olave. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. Jameis to throw it. And he wisely will throw that one away.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
On 2nd down, Kamara. Down to the 25. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, Winston. Looking for Alvin Kamara on the slant. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 15-yard line. From the red zone now, Winston. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Eric Stokes. And the Packers are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive. And certainly, look, you're on the road in the playoffs. That is a suboptimal start, opening drive INT.
And, partner, sometimes I wonder, do these teams talk about it to such an extent that maybe you almost talk yourself into the turnover when you're trying to avoid it?
Yeah, maybe they get a little too worried about keeping the football, and then you give it to the other team right off the bat. And, look, we said it, on the road, this is just a terrible, terrible start for them.
It is, and now they've got to rely on their defense.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
On 2nd and 9, Rodgers. That'll be complete to Allen Lazard. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Well, that's good for a first down. There's a guy who went over 1,000 yards receiving in the regular season, and now he's got his first catch of the playoffs. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. Shreds him with a stiff arm. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. Another strong gain on the last two plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they're in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Rodgers now on first down. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Well, this is a defense that's definitely on their heels now because they gave up the running play for good yardage one play ago. Now the pass here sets this offense up 1st and goal. They're going to have to dig in strong now because they've been in retreat so far in this drive. This offense on the march.
Hey, check 26.
Now they bring a receiver in motion right. They'll run here with Dillon. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. Here's Jones. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Packers are on the board first here in this division round matchup. Crosby connects on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Taking it about the 1. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Packers pick it up. And he'll take this down inside the 15-yard line.
A costly mistake there in the return game, and that is not how you want to answer an opening touchdown.
Yeah, and your defense is asking you a lot of questions right now because you're already down 7-0. You turn the ball over, they've got to go right back out there to try and keep it from getting to 14-0.
And the tight end goes in motion left. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. That's taken in by Watson. And he's brought down, but not before a really nice stiff arm to create a little space. So the completion results there in 9 yards, and it'll bring up a 2nd and short. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. From the 4, this is 2nd down and 1. Up the middle, Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
They'll send the tight end in motion left.
50, 26, 30.
Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
And this defense definitely in his head there on 3rd down, and he's pretty fortunate. They didn't call for grounding on this one. That was a good 10 feet over everyone's head.
The kick by Crosby is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've got to contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Winston.
He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Eric Stokes. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Now a first down carry by Jones.
And he'll take this down to the 33.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. To throw on 2nd and 6, Rodgers.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Well, partner, given where that drive started, that's an excellent job defensively to force them into 4th down.
The kick by Crosby is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
On 2nd and 2, Winston. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Winston to give. It's Kamara. Taken down at the 42.
The defense thought they had that play covered, but it still got driven backward by those blockers. Those types of plays are a key part of any team's offensive game plan. It all starts up front in the trenches.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. In motion is Grant. They just do get the play off. Now Winston. And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Rasul Douglas picks it.
And the Packers are going to take possession of the football.
1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Now Jones. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That's one they certainly wish they had back. A loss of 8. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
It's 2nd and goal, but now all the way back at the 14. In motion, the tight end. On 2nd and goal, Rodgers.
And this incomplete. He tried to check it down to his running back and nearly had the ball picked.
The defender certainly didn't forget about him leaking out of the backfield. There was a guy ready and waiting to pick him up in coverage, and that throw had no shot.
Rodgers now on 3rd and goal. Flush to his right. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down. Now Mason Crosby for the Packers field goal try. From the left hash, a 31-yard attempt. The kick by Crosby is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They trail early on the road in the playoffs. Not a great combination as they've got it 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Winston escaping the pressure right. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Winston now to throw on 1st down. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Grant. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be 2nd down. Again, it's Winston. Got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. Michael Thomas, a 24-yard touchdown.
And the Saints are on the board here in the final minute of the 1st half.
Lutz good on the extra point, and that trims the lead down to 9. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he is out of bounds here on the return. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line.
And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room.
Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
And they'll send the tight end in motion left.
26.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Rodgers. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the 1st half. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. He gets a good chunk of yards there, 8 all told, but they're still looking at a 4th down. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. Back deep, Jakeem Grant. And he'll send this one into the cold Lambeau night. And it's fielded at the 34. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
And maybe a chance for a quick completion and then a long field goal try. We'll see.
Final play of the half here. Winston. He finds his man. Complete. It's Grant.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC Divisional Round matchup as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work the run in a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working. But if they run it more effectively, they may get even bigger plays in the passing game.
Cameron Jordan able to get in there and run him down for what's going to be a loss of 15 yards all told.
Hey, take 26. Maximum. Inside.
After the sack on first down, Rodgers got a man. That's Lazard. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a third down.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
In motion comes the tight end left. Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
A gain of 8 there on the play. And that'll bring up a second down in just a couple.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Hey, you block over here. Hey, 88.
From midfield, here's Rodgers.
Pass to Lazard, bringing it in on the crossing route.
And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 35. And inside give to Jones. And he tries to keep the legs churning, but he's going to be stopped behind the line.
Well, that kind of hit will certainly fire up your team both on the field and on the sideline. Tackles for lost yardage, they're always welcome.
Hey, take 26. Maximum. Inside.
On 2nd and 11 now. Rodgers under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long.
Get 300. Get 300.
To throw is Rodgers. Able to find Lazard. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 22-yard line. 3rd and 19, no problem, as they're able to convert.
Well, these Packers and these Packer fans really thrive in the cold temperatures here at Lambeau. And their guys have the lead here with a 1st and 10.
30.
Here's a give to Jones running left. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still had the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
2nd down, another shot for Jones.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
And they get the guard, John Runyon.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. And the tight end goes in motion left.
50. 26.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. Dancing to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
On 3rd down, here's Jones. And he'll be taken down at the 34. 1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So a big spot now for Crosby, but he's been here before. And he'll be kicking into the wind in the 4th quarter now. The kick by Crosby is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist, but time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
And this could be the defining moment of their season, all hyperbole aside. You're trailing here in the 4th quarter, the divisional round, and they need to come up with something as they get this drive started.
A 1st down throw for Winston. He's going to wind up and air it out. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception.
Picked off by Eric Stokes.
I think it's safe to say this is a game he's not going to forget anytime soon, Charles. 3 interceptions.
It's rare that we see 3 interceptions by one team, let alone by an individual. And I think that after the 2nd one, he's probably telling his teammates, any ball that's in the air, it's going to be mine. And that turned out to be true.
Hey, 88. 30. Go to 50. Hey, you block over here.
They'll send the tight end in motion left. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. Got his man, Robbie Anderson.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
The give is to Jones. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. Rodgers to throw on 3rd and 1. Right side to Watson. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
26.
A give to Jones. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13.
41 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down.
50.
And they give the Jones off tackle. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line.